You've heard James say it a million times. Respect the Polygon. At Weather Call, we make the Polygon better. We call, text, or email you so you'll always know when you're in danger. No matter who you are, there's a Weather Call solution right for you. Check us out at weathercallservices.com.
This is the afternoon weather briefing. This is for Monday, the 1st of April. Alabama's weather, quiet today, warm, a lot of clouds around, but very active weather coming up with a dynamic system approaching. We'll have the chance of strong, maybe severe storms tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. Later this week, a chance of a late season frost, maybe a freeze in spots. So again, needless to say, a lot to talk about today. And as we typically do, let's begin with the upper air look across the country this afternoon. Got a big trough in the western states that'll be lifting out, and that will provide the dynamic support for active thunderstorms. Around Alabama today, it's mostly cloudy, not much sun. We'll check the radar in Oklahoma. This is out where new storms are beginning to fire. Again, we're live here about 3:05. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for counties north of Oklahoma City, and they're under a tornado watch. So far, no tornadoes there, but of course we'll watch conditions carefully there. But Alabama rain-free today. Not quite as warm as forecast because of the clouds. If the sun can break out, we'll be up in the low 80s, but we've got mostly 70s on the board. The warm spot, Montgomery, they've got 80, mostly mid to upper 70s elsewhere. So here's the watch warning map, a tornado watch for parts of North Texas and Oklahoma, the counties in yellow, a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Kansas, flash flood watches in effect for parts of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and southwest Pennsylvania, wind advisories for West Texas, and a few winter weather advisories for parts of Colorado, New Mexico, Nebraska, and South Dakota. So here's the updated severe weather risk for the rest of today and tonight. We have a level 4 out of level 5 moderate risk of severe storms across parts of Oklahoma. And the main upgrade there is because of hail potential. The broader risk runs from South Texas up across the Ohio Valley and into the Middle Atlantic coast region. And this is the updated severe weather outlook tomorrow. And they made some pretty big changes on the northern end of this. They've added a moderate risk of severe storms over much of Ohio, where basically earlier this morning, not much of Ohio had anything beyond a level 2 risk. And I think that's the right call. And I think the highest tornado potential is going to be up in that region, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee. In Alabama, we now have a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk down to Birmingham, basically the northern third of the state, the rest of the state, and a level 2 out of 5 risk. And again, we'll take a look at the modeling here on this in just a second. Let's check the probabilistic outlook for tornadoes. And you can see that SPC has added a hatched area into the extreme northern part of Alabama, Florence, Athens, Decatur, Huntsville, for the possibility of a strong tornado. That's what that means, and by definition, that would be EF2 or higher. And again, I really think the better tornado probabilities are a bit north of Alabama. Having said that, there could be a tornado or two, especially across the Tennessee Valley, but the higher probabilities involve damaging straight-line wind. This is the chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given point. And we just see the red there, basically from Birmingham north. That's 30 to 44%. That's a fairly significant risk. So storms tomorrow could easily produce strong, maybe damaging straight-line winds. And there could be a few isolated tornadoes and maybe some hail as well. And then on day 3, which is Wednesday, marginal risks for parts of North Florida and the Middle Atlantic coast. Here's a look at rain for the next 7 days, valid through Monday morning of next week. And the bulk of this will be the rain we see tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Rain amounts of about 1/2 to 1 inch for the north, under 1/2 inch for the south. So let's break it down here. Model fans, the GFS, this is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 4. And one good thing, this is more of a positive tilt trough, not a negative tilt trough. But still, certainly plenty of dynamic support. Now, the surface low at 4 o'clock is near or just east of Chicago. Pretty deep, 985 millibars. And again, notice north and west of the surface low, snow is likely for places like Green Bay, Madison, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And obviously, south and east of the surface low, we have the chance of severe storms. And Again, with the surface low being so far north, you just have to think the main tornado threat will be to the north. We note a secondary low trying to form over South Mississippi, but not especially deep. Let's go to the high-resolution HRRR model. This is valid tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. The high-resolution model is a little faster, showing an organized line of storms pushing into North Alabama. And, of course, if we see any discrete cells in advance of that, we'll have to watch those carefully for signs of rotation. But it looks like a line will be trying to push into the state about 4 o'clock. So this is 9 o'clock tomorrow night, that batch of storms slowly pushing to the south and east, coming through Scottsboro, approaching Gadsden, coming through Birmingham, Brent, and Demopolis. And again, the main concern at that point will be from strong winds and hail. We'll check some of the severe weather parameters. This is at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And this is surface-based CAPE. And again, the numbers are not overwhelming for April, but certainly sufficient for severe storms. This is the SRH, the storm relative helicity. This is the veering of the wind with altitude. And again, the values are sufficient for a few rotating updrafts, especially over the Tennessee Valley. Really, for the rest of Alabama, I'd say the tornado threat's pretty low once you get south of Interstate 20. But up in the Tennessee Valley, there could be a few storms that try and rotate. The STP values are not especially elevated here. You see a few spots where we hit 1 to 2 units, but if you want to see an elevated STP, how about that? That is through parts of Indiana and Ohio tomorrow afternoon. That's tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. And again, you can see the STP actually peaks at 20 units, which is pretty rare to see it that high. It's almost off the charts. So that's where the core tornado threat's going to be, I think. Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, maybe down into Tennessee. But having said that, there might be a storm that tries to rotate over the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama. This is the updated timing graphic. And again, we're kind of opening up the window about 3 o'clock for the northwestern part of the state. 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 3 until 9 p.m. The Shoals, Hamilton, Fayette, Decatur, places like that. Huntsville, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Gadsden, much of central Alabama, the window between 6 p.m. and midnight. And then for east and southeast Alabama, Auburn, Opelika, down to Dothan, the window between 11 o'clock tomorrow night and 4 a.m. Wednesday. So the main concern for our state, the chance of strong, maybe damaging straight-line winds. But again, the chance of an isolated tornado or two, especially over the Tennessee Valley. And there could be some hail as well. So keep that in mind. It's a day to be weather aware. Be sure that you can hear the warnings. And we'll be watching things carefully. We'll have another full briefing here early tomorrow morning, and we'll post updates tonight as need be. So once the storms are out of here, this is Wednesday. We turn noticeably cooler. Highs drop in the low to mid-60s. We might see upper 50s over the Tennessee Valley, and I think clouds will linger during the morning over the northern half of the state. We'll probably start a gradual clearing trend Wednesday afternoon. So this is Thursday. Again, very cool. Highs in the low to mid-60s for much of the state. The sky partly to mostly sunny. And this is Friday. Friday morning is when we have the frost and freeze concerns. We'll easily see lows in the 30s over the northern half of the state. The colder pockets could see a late season freeze. A lot of places will see frost on the ground, but the day will be sunny. The high Friday will be in the 60s. And really the same thing on Saturday. Saturday morning, just as cold. Lows in the 30s. The chance of a freeze for the colder pockets, a frost in many locations over the northern two-thirds of the state. So both Friday and Saturday morning, growers be aware of that. And just do whatever you need to do to take care of your crops. The high Saturday will be upper 60s, maybe some low 70s. Sunday, we're still dry, highs in the 70s, the sky partly sunny. And this is a week from today, Monday, April 8th. It's the day of the solar eclipse. Got a big upper low that's southwest of Phoenix, a trough over the Corn Belt. And evidence a few showers will try and creep in here. And again, this is not a good look for those trying to watch the eclipse from Texas into the deep south here. Looks like clouds could be an issue, and that's going to be the case as well up through parts of Arkansas into Ohio. You might want to go to northern New York or upper New England if you want to get in the path of totality to have the chance of a clear sky. Let's go out 10 days. This is Thursday of next week, April 11th. Pretty impressive trough coming through the eastern half of the country. Got a deep surface low near Chicago, storms off to the east. This is suggesting there might be a fairly dynamic system in here by Wednesday of next week. Maybe strong, severe storms, but we don't know that yet. This is 10 days out. We all know this can change. Here's a look at rain for Birmingham. This is coming off the European Ensemble. The mean, it's between 2 and 3 inches between now and the 16th of April. And the numbers, temperatures coming off the NBM, the National Blend of Models. How about 84 tomorrow? And then low and mid-60s for the rest of the week. And again, this is for Birmingham. You can see 38 Friday morning, 38 Saturday morning, but many spots away from the city could easily see low and mid-30s. So again, growers beware. Then back in the 70s for the weekend into next week, and hot off the presses, the latest 8 to 14-day guidance. This is for April 9th through April 15th. Temperatures above average, so there's a pretty good chance after Friday and Saturday morning, that'll be the last major frost freeze threat of the season. I think it's pretty safe to say, looking at the pattern here. But you know what? We got to roll some Children's of Alabama Kid Cam video. Couple of stops. I got some homeschoolers today. Spirit Life Church in Cullman, Alabama STEAM Academy. I like it with the homeschoolers. You get the moms, the dads, and the kids. Look at the cake here. I like that cake. And down there they got Twinkies and Yoo-Hoos because that's our preferred snack during snowstorms instead of milk and bread. Longtime viewers know. But we had a marvelous time today talking about science and weather and different kinds of weather and forecasting. So again, to all of these great homeschool parents and students, that was great fun today up in Cullman. Thanks a lot. And then stop number 2, South Shades Crest Elementary School in Hoover. A lunchroom full of first graders. I like it. Had a great time, and they gave me this big emergency supply basket with all kind of snacks for the late nights we spend up here, which we do often in the springtime, so that was much appreciated. But that's a great school. I've been coming to see those first graders for many years. Amazing teachers, amazing students. So again, to all my first grade buddies at South Shades Crest Elementary School in Hoover, and also the homeschoolers up in Cullman, thanks a lot for a great visit earlier today at both of those locations. So tomorrow, I've got MLK Elementary in Tuscaloosa to start the day. And, of course, we'll be here, obviously, in the weather office watching the weather throughout the afternoon and tomorrow night. Then on Wednesday, we've got Hilltop Montessori School in Mount Laurel down in Shelby County, and a program at Children's of Alabama for the patients and their families there. Wednesday night, I will not be on TV. I will be in Guin for a special 50th anniversary remembrance service. It's the 50th anniversary of the super outbreak of tornadoes, April 3rd, 1974. And really looking forward to that. Guin was hit so hard by an F5 tornado that I saw the damage when I was 17 years old. I volunteered through there, and it was just something that stays with you forever. And I'm really looking forward to that. Then on Thursday morning, let's see, we're going to be in Pleasant Grove Elementary School. Friday, Dolly Ridge Elementary in Vestavia, and then after that, headed down to Mobile for the CCAPS Weather Conference. I'll be down there. I know Neil Jacobs, Dr. Jacobs is coming from Weather Brains. I think John Gordon, from our friend from Louisville, he'll be there. That's always a lot of fun. It's a great weather conference at the University of South Alabama. Be there Friday and Saturday. And don't forget Weather Brains tonight. It'll be pretty interesting. We've got, obviously, active weather west of the state tonight, and we're going to look back again on the 1974 super outbreak. It'll be a special episode tonight, 7 o'clock Central, youtube.com/weatherbrains. But most people listen on your favorite podcast app. It'll be out after midnight tonight, early tomorrow morning. And we do invite you to watch us on the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.